Yes, what's up? What's happening?
There it
Welcome
is.
in to Boston has entered the chat. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. How you guys doing today? T, how we doing, my man?
When you hear that typing, you know we've entered the chat. I'm doing good, brother. I'm glad to. Whoa, what was that one?
You ever know, like, past relationships? Relationship I've been in is really good.
Yes.
You ever get the Bible sent to you?
No.
Like a long.
Oh, the long.
Yeah, that's why I go, not the literal Bible.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
You know what you write back when you get the Bible text, right? You just write K.
I'm sorry for you, or I'm happy for you, but I'm not reading.
I'm not reading all that. Bro, those texts, man. Oh.
Worst feeling in the world. Because I'm not reading it. Just
I
put the phone
can't
away.
read all that. It's just too much. But hey, you have to read it, and you better write something back other than K, or you're in big trouble.
We got a packed show for you guys today. We'll go through what's trending in a wild Sunday in the NFL.
It was.
And the NBA as well. We go through our winners and losers as always.
Yep.
And then joining the chat, special guest, man, Donovan Ezeiruaku.
Yep.
Junior defensive end for BC. He's projected a first, second round in the upcoming NFL draft. He is a baller. He's a great dude. You're going to love that combo. And we'll talk Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, which is going down November 15th.
It's crazy, right? Couple days.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Absolutely nuts. All right, let's get to what's trending. So, Lions, 8-1.
Man.
Jared Goff.
I was so close with that game.
5 interceptions, 4 of those in the first half.
Yeah.
Texans, what were they up? 23-3
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
But the Lions pull out the win. Game-winning field goal by Jake Bates. 26-23 the final. He's the third quarterback since 2000 to win a game throwing 5 interceptions. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan and Tony Romo are the other two. I would not have put my money on Matt Ryan. And Jake Bates, I'll get into his story, but just what a wild win.
Yeah, I was upset because if you remember, I called the upset here.
You went Texans money line, too.
Yeah, I did.
Should have taken the
and
points.
And the whole time.
See what happens when you get greedy?
I'm a gambler, bro. But, like, the whole time I'm thinking, oh, this is good money. But then again, I mean, you have to give the Lions credit, obviously, for battling here and overcoming the Jared Goff horrible game. But I even though I'm giving the Lions credit, I'm really, really discouraged with what I saw from the Texans. You have got to win that game. You cannot have this guy throw 5 picks and you lose the game.
Yeah.
And you allow them to come back.
Yep.
Like you have to, there's no killer instinct in that team. There's no, we got these guys finished, finish them off there. They could not do it. D'Amico Ryans looked just absolutely flabbergasted several times in that game on the sideline. Just like, what the hell is going on? What am I supposed to do here? And that's how it looked. That team was shell-shocked.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was my reasoning for picking the Texans to begin with is because they needed that kind of win. Something's missing from this team. I can't put my finger on it all year. And then they lose to the Lions, and that's exactly it. That's what's missing. They don't have the killer instinct. This team, for now, is still even though they are a contender in the AFC, I think they're pretenders. I don't believe that team can beat a Kansas City or at this point, the way they're playing, a Steelers or any of these top teams in the AFC. I just don't believe the Texans are there quite yet.
I think that's a good way to put it. And you even think about this is them coming off a loss to the Jets,
right?
Which was Thursday night. They had 9 days to prepare, and this is what happens. And you give credit to the Lions on that bounce back. I mean, they get Amon-Ra in the end zone and just making the right plays at the right time. For Jared Goff, how he just sticks with games. A guy that was seen as to be so mentally weak to start his career, which he was, but he just keeps taking these leaps. And you know how I speak about the Lions. To me, they're the best team in the NFL because of all the skill, all the talent, all these levers, I like to say, that Dan Campbell can pull. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need a smash mouth running back, David Montgomery. Oh, I need a dynamic guy on the outside, big play, Jahmyr Gibbs. Reliable over the middle, give me Amon-Ra. Deep shot, Williams. Laporta, chain mover. Goff, just get the job done. Jake Bates with 2 huge field goals. And Jake Bates' story, played soccer at Central Arkansas, middle of nowhere. Kickoff specialist at Texas State. He never attempted a field goal in college. Invited to Texans training camp, was cut by the Texans, took a job as a brick salesman for a construction company in Houston. Went to the UFL, was hitting bombs. Lions pick him up, and he hit 2 field goals, both skimming the goalpost. Walk-off winner, 26-23.
What a story.
No one can account for that lever.
That's right.
And you watch this Lions team, And they are favorites in every game, which they should be. Yeah. But they play like they're underdogs. They play like they're hungry. And they're coming off an NFC Championship game collapse. You would think there could be a hangover. You think this team thinks it's all them and they're everything and more.
Nope.
It is amazing what the culture they have there with all the talent and how they played these games. Down 23-3, they should have tanked it, and they didn't.
Bro, they're already on a massive win streak. I'm looking at the Lions schedule. All right, so they've won 7 in a row already, right?
Yeah.
Listen to the upcoming games. I mean, this team may not lose again. Jacksonville, win, right?
Yeah.
Colts, win. Chicago, win. Green Bay.
Home, so I give that a win.
Right. Buffalo,
home.
That's a big one.
If that was at Buffalo, that'd be tough.
Chicago at San Fran, Monday nighter, and then Vikings to end the season. I mean, listen, let's give them. I'll give Green Bay. I think Green Bay might get one.
It could be a shootout on the turf, but
yeah, they beat Green Bay in Green Bay. Remember, but. I'll give
and their
Green
defense
Bay
dominated them in that weather.
I'll give Green Bay one, and then either Buffalo or San Fran will beat them.
I want to give them a San Fran loss. I want them to lose 2-3 more. I want them to lose 1 or 2 more games.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want them going into the playoffs on the streak. It's important to lose.
Yeah.
At certain points.
Yeah.
So that's why, because I want this Lions team to do something special.
Yeah.
I don't think that Green Bay game jumps out to me. Buffalo and San Fran do.
They'll win. They'll lose one of those.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo
on the turf.
Maybe Buffalo.
Yeah, and they could play in tough environments.
Yeah, maybe Buffalo.
You get Josh Allen on turf in a dome. Deebo Samuel grabbed long snapper Tabor Pepper's throat.
Bro.
So Jake Moody went 3 for 6 on field goals. He's hot and cold. He's been all year. And it was on the sideline after his 3rd missed field goal. He pushed Peppers in the throat. And Deebo, what he said about that, normally I don't even get like that, but just frustrated in the heat of battle. Really close game, and I kind of got out of character a little bit, but I'll talk to Moody and we'll get past it. You know what's one thing you shouldn't do when your kicker's already having like a mental fragile game? Don't shove his long snapper and get in the kicker's face. This is bad by Deebo. That's a team that's unraveling. They got the win, but it's a team that's unraveling.
And they barely won the game. Yeah, look, first of all, with what Deebo wore to that game, let me tell you something. If that guy pushed me, we're fighting. Like, I'm sorry. We're fighting right on TV. You are not going to wear that outfit to this game and then push me in front of all these people
watching.
Watching.
Leather shorts?
Yeah. Like, we are
all
fighting.
All leather ensemble with fighting. Shorts.
Straight fist fights. But as far as the 49ers, you're absolutely right. I mean, we just said this with the Texans. Something's off with the Niners. And obviously, you can point to the injuries, of course. But it's not just that. Even as they start to get healthier here, Deebo himself back in the lineup, it's just like something's off with this team. They're not – you know what I think it is? It feels like Brock Purdy has not taken the next step in terms of being a leader. Like, at first it was a cute story, and it was like, oh, this guy, Mr. Irrelevant, he's playing well. But now he is the man, right? But he hasn't taken the leadership role with this team, where even with stuff like this happening on the sideline, you can't certainly blame a Brock Purdy for it.
Yeah.
But, like, this isn't going to happen with certain quarterbacks in this league. You're not going to get that with Kansas City because they have Mahomes. You're not going to get that. Certain quarterbacks have that kind of leadership over their teams. I don't think Brock Purdy has that. And this 49er team feels like there's no leadership. It's like a rudderless ship almost.
Yeah.
They're winning games because they do have the talent.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe them in terms of once you get to the postseason. I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl. They've knocked on so many championship doors, and none of them have opened for the 49ers. I don't believe they even go down the championship hallway this season.
Yeah.
I think they're done.
Yeah.
Wild card weekend, I'll be betting against them.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a fragile team right now. They're too banged up. They're not healthy. They get guys back. They lose guys.
No leadership.
Brock Purdy had an on and off game, and it's not his fault on this losing. Yeah, but like that's your leadership.
Right.
That's one of your best receivers.
Yeah.
And like you get in your own teammate's face. You may put your hands on them to shove them like that though. That's what's worrying. That's alarm bells for me. Jaylen Brown, I'll end with the NBA.
I love this.
I love this from Jaylen Brown.
This is great.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo accidentally caught Jaylen Brown with an elbow. He fell to the ground. JB gets up. On the other end of the floor, Giannis puts his hand out like, my bad, and did the psych. Oh. And you see JB just go in and keep walking. After the game, Jaylen Brown said, Giannis is a child. I'm just focused on helping my team to get a win. While Giannis said, oh, that's what he said? Dang. What gets me, and I love, Giannis is one of my favorite athletes, period.
Yeah.
And what I love about him is they always say run through a wall. He will run through anything to win. He will do anything to win. He's still fueled by being that kid that grew up with absolutely nothing on the streets of Greece. Like him growing up, when he got an agent, the agent said, hey, I'm going to get you a spot on a team and I'm going to get you dinner. And his brothers would eat the dinner he'd get. Wow. They would eat before him. Even now, you saw the video of Damian Lillard giving him a free pair of shoes. He goes, free shoes is free shoes. Yep. That man is signed to Supermax, does not care, will never lose that mentality of what he grew up on, which I respect.
Yep.
What I love about Giannis is he will play like a mother effer all the time. Yep. And then he'll do this. And then if you get in his face, you're like, what did I do, bro?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, no, Giannis. No.
Yeah.
And that's a thing of that's slick-ish. Nah, man, you do not. It's just that's childish. We talk about all the fights should happen in the NBA. Joe Mazzulla wants it. That should be a fight situation.
I mean, you can't do that to Jaylen Brown. You can do that to Sam Hauser or something. You can't do that to Jaylen Brown. He's a star.
Like Tyrese. You can do it to Tyrese Halliburton.
You can't do that
to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I love Jaylen Brown's response. That was the best. He's a child. I'm just trying to help my team win. Yeah. Like he can't be bothered with the GB. He's like, I'm a grown up. Thanks.
I think that's a perfect way.
I love it.
You like I just tried my Greek impersonation.
That was very good.
Come on, bro. I'm just messing around. That's kind of close to like how I hear like my Lebanese cousins talk. Like, yeah, bro, come on over.
Who's the voice that you do when you go, brothers? Listen.
Oh, that's my like Serbian Slovakian. Listen, brothers.
It's Luca. I think it's Luca.
It is. It's Luca giving a pep talk. You see in the rundown,
your voices, bro.
You see in the rundown what we got from our producer Ethan, how he spelled Giannis.
Oh, I see it.
Graphics are right. Yeah, he put a G on Giannis. For those listening,
our rundown,
he put a Y in Giannis. Yes. Got to give him crap after.
Greek,
hey, he's doing it the Greek way. I respect it.
Hey, do it the Greek way. Yeah. That's the right way to get it done, baby.
You'll always be in a good spot. Hey, make sure to check out the latest episode of Boston Center, the chat. You're listening to it now, but check out our clips on YouTube. And also feel free to email the chat at nesson.com. Send a voicemail, 617-790-0928 as well. Leave your name, keep it anonymous. Life advice, questions about the Celtics, the Bruins, the Red Sox, the Patriots, anything. BC football. Leave a voicemail, send an email. That is on Boston has entered the chat. All right, as always, we get to our winners and losers.
Yes.
Give me one of your losers.
Oh, so many to choose from, but the biggest loser there is Matt Eberflus. How he still has his job as we speak baffles me. Yep. I don't understand it. But somehow he keeps his job. Maybe he isn't the loser after all, because I think he should be fired. He should have been fired before the start of the fourth quarter. I mean, honest to God, like that Chicago Bears team has already quit on this guy. They did. Since that Hail Mary against the Commanders, when they lost that game, that team has gone to hell in a handbasket. And I just don't believe Matt Eberflus has any say, any feel for the pulse of that team, any sense of anything in the locker room. Those players are doing whatever they want. They don't care. They don't listen to him. They don't give a damn. It's like the substitute teacher is teaching the class. They're not listening to him. Yet he keeps his job. I mean, for 3 weeks, it looked like Caleb Williams was the second coming. And then that Hail Mary loss happens, and the offense has disappeared. It looks like the Monstars came and took all their powers. Like, they don't even know how to play football anymore. It's unbelievable. Yet this guy still has a job. Shane Waldron should be fired. Matt Eberflus should be fired yesterday. Shane Waldron
won't be fired unless Matt Eberflus does it, according to Matt Eberflus.
He has power. He's like, I'll make that decision. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's my decision. My decision only.
Idiot.
It won't be your decision when you get fired.
Right.
And that's the thing of where Matt Eberflus, yes, defensive-minded head coach, you make hiring decisions. You chose to go with Shane Waldron, which I said, hey, this could be a good hire.
Sure.
Let's see. I think Shane Waldron is a good offensive coordinator and good play caller with not the exact same personnel, but similar personnel to what he had in Seattle for all the times he was OC there. He has failed every which step of the way, man. And that's where the head coach has to be accountable. Punching in Matt Eberflus on the X machine. Matt Eberflus, 326 win percentage. Oof. Mark Trestman had 406. 0-18 in his career on the road on Sundays. He's 6-5 when the Bears are favored. 6-5. He's blown 5 leads in 5 different games where they have a 95% win percentage.
If you're betting on the Bears, I mean, you're just on hard times. Like you're just, I can't imagine.
Oh, Bears have the Packers next?
They're not, bro. I looked at their schedule. I don't think they're winning another game. If they stick with this guy, I don't think the Bears are winning another game. Their schedule's hellacious.
I need to see this.
You got to get rid of him. Look, it's one thing if you're just a bad coach.
Yeah.
But we gave Gerard Mayo credit for this because, look, if you're a bad coach, you don't have a lot of talent on the team, you're going to lose games. But there's something to be said. This is why I give Gerard Mayo credit. There's something to be said for your team playing hard for you.
Yeah.
And say what you want about Gerard Mayo. Lord knows I've been extremely critical. But his team responds to him. They play hard for him. He outcoached this Eberflus idiot in that game. But at the end of the day, if your players quit on you, you gotta get lost. You can't keep a head coach that players don't respect and players don't play hard for. It's not going to work. So the Bears at this point, you should just rip the Band-Aid off. What are you waiting for? He's not going to rally that team. They're not going to all of a sudden in 2 weeks believe in this guy and he's going to win Coach of the Year. How's my arse sound? You got to get him the hell out of town fast.
The Bears have the Packers next.
They're done.
That's an L. Even if you have the Packers coming off
Are you betting on it right now?
Literally just did. Thank you for taking that long. I was searching for it. Before that number gets to 7.5.
That man just fired off a live bet in the middle of talking and hosting the show. Yeah, Trav, so if you look at the stats, I was like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making a bet. Like, what? That was incredibly talented.
It's Matt LaFleur, Packers coming off a bye. That Bears offense is that dead. This is a good Packers defense, and they made the Patriots defense look like one of the best in the league.
I'm not going to say what account he used, but let's just say that the app asked him, are you sure you want to place this bet? And he said yes with the quickness.
That's why I love working with you, bro. You gave me enough time to place that bet. Love you. And you called me in action. Literally, you looked out and I was like, yes, done.
That was great. It was like, are you sure you want to place this bet?
And I was like, hell yes. Stop asking me. He should be gone. I think he's likely gone. We will see if it happens Tuesday, if it happens Wednesday. We will see. My loser, and man, this is someone I've come all the way around on.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, this is growth for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First 4 games, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yes.
His last 5 games, 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
I told you, man.
They beat the Jaguars 12-7. It is the first time since 2000 a team has won by throwing 3 interceptions and scoring no touchdowns, but won the game. And it was because they played the Jaguars.
They played Mac Jones.
If that was Trevor Lawrence, and they played Mac Jones.
Right.
If that's Trevor Lawrence, they lose that game.
Yeah.
8 of their first 10 drives, they got into Jaguars territory.
Right.
All 3 of his interceptions inside the Jaguars 30-yard line. Mm-hmm. You cannot do that. You cannot spoil games. You cannot just give it away. They tripled the Jags net yardage. The time of possession was 41 minutes and change to 17 minutes and change. And they won 12-7. So Sam Darnold, you get the win, loser of the week. And with Kevin O'Connell, man, you can't spoil that. I was adamant for them to go and trade for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, you were.
And then the Rams got healthy. They're not going to trade him. It makes sense. Sam Darnold, in their eyes, is the bridge quarterback. Mm-hmm. I do like him in the structure, but you see why Sam Darnold is what Sam Darnold is.
That's right.
And this is someone a few weeks ago, and I would take him as a bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
I would take him as a backup. But what makes a good backup? Can you play 3-4 games for us and keep the train on the tracks?
Right.
But the difference between a backup and a good start in the NFL, can you play the whole season and keep us on schedule? And he can't do that.
Yeah, I just think he is who he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. But I told you when they were winning all these games, I was keeping them out of my. Remember, we do our power rankings, our top 10 and all that.
You keeping them out,
and they were undefeated, and I was having a hard time even putting them in my top 10 because I just didn't believe in it. Yeah. I just felt like it was smoke and mirrors. And look, I don't think, like I said, Darnold's not. I don't think he's a scrub. I'm not on that end of the spectrum. Some people think he's trash. I don't think he's trash, but he ain't great. And I think he is what he is. I think he's a backup quarterback in this league, and that's fine. You'll have a fine career like that. But to suggest that this guy should be a starting NFL quarterback, it's just not going to work. I think that the jury's out on Geno Smith, too. I feel the same way about Geno Smith. Sam Darnold and Geno both can give you these pockets of time where they play well. In Geno's case, he can give you a full season even, he's proven. But after a while, over time, eventually you see we can't win with this guy. Yeah. And that's what I think's happening to Sam Darnold. It hasn't happened in Seattle yet. It's starting to. That boat's starting to take in a little bit of water, but I think it's a matter of time before they say, all right, look, the Geno Smith experience is over. We got to move forward. I think the Vikings are in a more – they're in a more advantageous position because
they're ahead of schedule.
J.J. McCarthy's eventually going to come back.
Yeah.
And that's a guy you drafted anyway. That's who you want.
Yeah, and a redshirt year is not the worst thing for him.
So you can sort of naturally transition to J.J. McCarthy and move off of Darnold.
Yeah.
But I think Geno, like Darnold, eventually here is going to get exposed, and they got to move on from him.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, who's your winner of the week?
Winner, I went Gerard Mayo for everything I said about Matt Eberflus. You know, this team's playing for Gerard Mayo.
Maturity.
I mean, they go on the road in what you would think originally would be a get-right spot for the Bears. But they go on the road. I thought the energy was there. I thought they were prepared. I mean, it was the first time I actually kind of liked the game plan that the Patriots had.
Same.
And you have to give Gerard Mayo credit for that. I did not see that coming. I thought, and I correctly predicted Drake May would outplay Caleb, but I thought the Bears would win the game because they're a more talented football team.
Yeah.
And, I think coaching won that game for the Patriots. So I give Gerard Mayo all the credit. He's my winner.
Yeah, I like that call. I went with the coach too. I went Mike Tomlin.
Ooh.
And this is a long-standing. The Steelers are now 3-0 since starting Russ.
Wow.
With their first 6 games with Justin Fields, the offense broke 300 yards just twice, passed more than 240 yards just once. Russ, the offense total yardage, 409, 426, 312. And every button he's pushed has been perfect. We go, why are you flipping to Russ? The offense took another step to help out this elite defense. Trading for Mike Williams, he caught the game-winning touchdown after taking no snaps in practice, just 4 days after ending up in Pittsburgh. What got me was the Steelers led 14-10, and all of a sudden it turned into 24-14. They end up winning this one 28-27. They held Jayden Daniels to the lowest completion percentage of his career in the NFL. He's a rookie, 50%. But when you dive into what that defense was doing, their drive right before half, they had a 94-yard drive score. The drive out of half, 71-yard drive score.
Wow.
Before that drive, right before half for the Commanders, 59 net yards of offense. After that scripted play drive out of the half, 56 yards of offense.
Man.
So you take away 2 drives,
and
you've held them to 115 yards of offense. Jayden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, one of the most efficient offenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
Career low completion percentage and only 2 drives where they actually put something together.
Real defense, man. Listen, one of the worst takes of my career was suggesting that Russell Wilson would torpedo the season
Yeah,
for
you
the
did
Steelers.
say that. That's true.
I was all about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And I love the way the Steelers were playing at the time when they made this decision. Hey, Russ is healthy. We're going with Russ. We need a spark for the offense. And I said, man, this guy's going to come in and it's just going to bottom out. And it's been the complete opposite. I mean, this team now, you have to look at them. I'm still not ready to go here, but I will acknowledge they are absolutely a team that could go into Kansas City and win. You know why? The formula to beat Mahomes in the playoffs that no one gets right is keeping his arse on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's a key. Can you run the ball, time of possession, keep that offense off the field?
Yeah.
And look, Kansas City's defense is too legit to quit. So can you actually run the ball on that defense?
Yeah.
So you have to impose your will. And then defensively, you have to be good enough to just slow Mahomes and that crew down.
Yeah.
And the Steelers check every box technically for that formula, and they're well coached with Tomlin.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go there and put this team in the Super Bowl, but you have to have them in the conversation. If not, you're not paying attention. You're not watching the games.
With an offensive line that's been banged up throughout the season, but they made it work. Like, do you have a quarterback with experience that can make plays happen? Yes. Do you have 2 good pass catchers now? George Pickens and Mike Williams? Yes. Can you run the ball? Yes. Do you have an elite defense with good players on every layer of your defense?
They check every box.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
And, hold on. Do you have a head coach you can trust?
That's right.
Damn right.
There's
no better head coach.
Yeah.
2 great quotes, too, was Mike Tomlin was asked about, like, hey, would you have gone for it on 4th down at the end? Where literally, to win the game, hard count 4th and 1. Everyone knows what they're doing, and they did it. But he was asked, were you going to go for it? And he was like, I'm a degenerate. I'm not going to answer that. You'll never know, but I'm a degenerate. And then someone asked him the Jayden Daniels, Lamar Jackson comp, and he said, hey, tread lightly. That's Mr. Jackson.
That's right.
Like he hit him with
MVP.
the Mr. He didn't say Lamar. He said Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
He says everything right, and you understand why he's so revered and why he's one of the longest tenured head coaches in the NFL, and why he's been there as long as he's been there.
Well, Steelers-Ravens is just, I mean, that just feeds families for generation. Yeah.
Ooh.
Steelers-Ravens, 1 o'clock game.
Right. No.
Why is that a 1 o'clock game?
No. That's going to get
I deal with
flexed.
this every week.
That's going to get flexed.
And I'm like, why is that a 1 o'clock game? So the night game, I mean, can we flex this or not? Bengals-Chargers. Like, who the hell wants to watch that? Give me Ravens-Steelers in Pittsburgh, that game, by the way. Also, here's another big game on Sunday, Chiefs-Bills. That's a 4 o'clock. That's America's game of the week, at least, though. But
it won't be flexed due to league broadcast rules.
What?
Stupid.
Come on. Bengals-Chargers? We don't need that. That's not what America wants. Waiting all day for Sunday night. No one says that for Bengals-Chargers. Come on.
So CBS is still guaranteed at least one of every AFC divisional matchup. Fox is same with every NFC divisional matchup.
God.
So if they lose this with the 2 divisional teams, then that's why.
1 o'clock game, man.
That's so
It's terrible.
That should be bumped to a 4 o'clock window.
It should, at least, right?
That would be such a cheat of the fans.
Better game, Ravens-Steelers or Chiefs-Bills this week?
Oh.
What's a better game?
It's a better game than Falcons-Broncos, which is 4:05.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
What's a better game out of those two, though?
Ravens-Steelers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both are great.
Chiefs-Bills is always.
Mahomes-Allen.
And the game's in Buffalo, too. It's a good game.
I just picked.
They're going to be drunk, jumping through tables
I just
there.
picked Russell Wilson over Mahomes and Allen.
Facts.
That shows how highly I think of this Steelers team.
Facts.
But that Ravens-Steelers game is going to be
Russ
great.
is playing well, but this is kind of what Russ did in Seattle, right? Like good run game, good defense, just don't crash the car.
Yeah.
He can and then a handful of times in a game he'll do something dangerous, right? But for the most part, I think it is a great fit. It was a terrible take by me to just think that this guy was going to run their season in the ground. I thought he was washed. I'll be honest. I just thought Russell Wilson was washed.
Right system, right structure, right situation.
Yeah, he's got plenty of game left.
And they knew it. Hey, check out the latest episode of 3:10 to Left. Everything you want, Red Sox, everything you want, MLB right there. That is 3:10 to Left. Jemai Webster, Julie McWilliams are on this episode. Wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime, and wherever else podcasts are found. Also go to Nesson's YouTube page. Check it out as well. That is 3:10 to Left. He's Donovan Ezeiruaku. He is a defensive end and a junior for Boston College. 4th in the nation with sacks with 11. Donovan,
Woo!
Appreciate you joining the chat, my man. How you doing today?
I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Excited to have you on. Now, let's first start with Saturday. End the skid. Get that big win over Q's. You had 2 sacks yourself. How'd it feel to get that win and get back on the right side of the outcome and get you guys, especially at home, winning again?
It felt really good. We had a really good week of practice from the bye week as well as, the game week. And somebody said to me after the game, it was, how does it feel to finally get back on track after 5 weeks of, not having a win? And that kind of put it in perspective for me. I'm like, wow, like it has been a few weeks. But it just felt great. It was a great team win.
Donovan, I watched you dominate against Cuse, man. You stood on business. I appreciated the game you had. And on this show, we've had so many offensive players from your team. But now we finally got a defender on here. Talk to me about this defense, please. What makes this defense for Boston College so special?
Yeah, I think I would say Coach Lewis does a great job of, obviously, scheming things up on that side, but allowing us to play free within the scheme. We kind of saw that this past game with the defensive line doing what we had to do, and then guys getting after on the defensive side. So it's exciting.
What was it like for you that you come in, you have different coaches, and now with Tim Lewis leading the way? I mean, Hafley was a great defensive mind. Tim Lewis, NFL experience. What's it like that you're now learning from a guy that has been in the NFL and been across multiple leagues teaching you how to play football?
It's been really good transition, going from a great coaching staff defensively to another one with his defensive mind and all the experience that Coach Lewis has had, and he tells a lot of stories. While we're in our meetings and stuff like that about the guys that he's coached. And it's always good to hear, little, small tips and tricks that, those guys did or, the coaching points that he gave those guys, in the past and being able to utilize that right now. So.
Hey, no one from SMU is watching, so give me the game plan here because, listen, this team, they're no joke, man. I mean, you guys are going to have your hands full. How are you going to win this? How are you guys attacking this game defensively?
Well, so we really didn't get the game plan yet. We're still coming off of, yesterday's practice was more like a corrections from Syracuse. But, obviously on the defensive side, just, doing what we, try to do best and, stop the run, obviously affect the quarterback in the passing game. I think it boils down to that defensively. And that's what we're going to try and do, this week coming up.
I want to ask you, because you're a guy, you get after the quarterback, but you're also a good, really, really good edge defender, good open field tackler. Third down sack, big point of the game, you get that third down sack on the quarterback, or big tackle, goal line stand. What's more exciting to you?
More exciting, definitely. I think would have to be a goal line stand. Being able to, change the momentum of the game like that on the goal line. And I think it's kind of demoralizing for, an offense that, can't punch it on the 1 yard line. So I would say that's definitely more exciting.
Man, Trav, that's a true defender, bro.
I know.
All the sacks, bro. This guy is fourth in the nation in sacks. And he goes, I'll take the goal line stand, because you said at the end, it breaks the mental fortitude of the opponent. That's a true defender right there.
He's a dog, bro. Look, so my co-host, aside from being from Jersey like you and telling me how great it is all the time, he also, I think, could be a GM in the league. He loves draft talk. He loves all this stuff. He's talking to me, telling me you're going to be a first or second round draft pick in the NFL. How do you stay focused on what you're doing right now and not get caught up in that? Because I'm telling you right now, Donovan, if I was you, man, I'd be walking around spending money I don't even have yet. And like, I'm a first rounder, baby. How do you stay focused and humble and just focus on Boston college football and not get caught up in that?
Honestly, I think I try to take the mentality that Coach O'Brien preaches. He preaches one play at a time, playing a full game. So I think that applies not only to football, but to life as well. I got to take this 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. I still got, 3, potentially 4 more games left in my college career. And I think that if I'm able to maximize, what I can do in those games and help our team win, I think it'll put me in an even better position, for the NFL draft. So that's kind of how I think about it. I try not to look too far ahead. Mm-hmm. It's super exciting, obviously. Who wouldn't want to hear their name, especially somebody who's been playing the game since they were 7 years old? Like, who wouldn't want to hear that, they're, potentially getting drafted, being able to potentially walk across that stage or, hear their name called on TV or whatever the case may be. That's super exciting. But, I got to take care of what I got to take care of right here and right now. So try to just live in the moment.
Look, I appreciate Trav saying I could be a GM. If I was a GM, that's the best answer in the world, bro. I love that you have that outlook of you're focused on the execution, not the outcome. Because if you take care of the day-to-day execution, the rest takes care of itself. And you're being humble too, saying, hopefully the name's called. I will say, and I'm not gassing you up because you're on the show.
Gas him.
I watched you play. I read about you. I see the stats, everything, man. You'll get your name called.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it. You grew up playing this sport, and you love doing it. Who did you grow up watching? And you're like, I want to model my game after him.
Ooh.
So I watched a lot of. I would say when I finally started to like really understand football and what position I was going to be playing in the future. I watched a lot of Von Miller. He's a guy who's obviously still in the league, but in high school, like I looked up to how he used to bend off the edge and had a similar body type with like height wise and. I kind of grew into, having my 245-pound and 250-pound frame. So I watched a lot of Von Miller. But then again, I watched a lot of documentaries as well, like a lot of Football Lives, a lot of, 30 for 30s. So I watched, Deion Sanders' is a Football Life. I watched, guys like Warren Sapp and all that. So I watched a few different
South Jersey, though. You're an Eagles. Didn't you grow up in Eagles country? South Jersey Eagles fans or what?
I'm a real big Eagles fan for sure.
Okay.
Who was your favorite Eagle growing up? Not Brian. Aside from Brian Dawkins.
Not Brian Dawkins, right? It's gotta be.
So I was actually named after Donovan McNabb. So
no way.
So I was born in 2003. The Eagles. I think they were coming off a Super Bowl loss, or they went to the Super Bowl that year against the Patriots. So was named after Donovan McNabb. So
wow.
Who had this say in naming you? Was it your mom or your dad that was a big McNabb fan?
Definitely my mom. She's a Philly native. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, I love that. So you talk about who you grew up watching. You talk about being a big Eagles fan, and you gave me someone you modeled your game after. But as an edge player, how would you describe the way you play?
I would say a guy who, I definitely take pride in stopping the run first. I think, people kind of get it twisted that, just want to go out there pass rush, smaller defensive end, designated pass rusher. I think I take pride in stopping the run. But obviously a guy that has speed off the edge, we're athletic, can bend the hoop, so that's kind of how I would describe my game.
Trav, he's saying that after they held Syracuse to 39 rushing yards.
Yeah.
By the way, so I just want to.
I told you he stood on business, man. I watched that whole game. You guys were balling out there. Hey, Bill O'Brien knows a thing or two about the NFL. I mean, what's it been like? What's it been like playing, with him as your head coach? And obviously, I'm sure he's kind of giving you some pointers and some tips about the next level as well, I imagine.
Yeah, it's been really good. A coach with that resume, who wouldn't want to play under someone like that? He obviously, like I said with Coach Lewis, he tells us a lot of different stories about the guys that he's coached as well. Mm-hmm. One on the defensive side being J.J. Watt. He'll tell us about certain guys and how they were able to be leaders, and how they led. And I think that's super important, especially for the development of young college players like myself. So it's been really great having Coach O'Brien as my head coach, and I think it's a really good fit for him.
Man, if we put you and Tommy Castellanos in a race, who's winning that one?
Oh,
both good athletes.
I'll have to get at the Tommy. He's definitely faster than me. So I know he's got wheels.
I know you've never been able to hit him in practice because you're a good teammate, but what is it like, and how does that help you when it comes to a game day where in practice you're going after Tommy Castellanos, then you get to game day when you can hit and no one can move like him, which I know it's an iron sharpens iron. That helps you get better just as an edge defender when it comes to tackling in space and obviously getting after the QB too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely prepares us, when we're going against mobile quarterbacks like we're gonna, go up against this week at SMU. It's we're constantly getting practice. We understand that you can't just fly around the edge. You got to cage them in the pocket. When you're going too far up the field, you got to rush back, come back downhill because he's going to step up. As this quarterback, this type of quarterback he is, and a guy that's able to extend plays. And if you do let them outside of the pocket, you better get ready to chase your tail off because either they're going to take off running or they'll be able to scramble to throw. So it's really good practice. Obviously, it definitely prepares us for mobile quarterbacks like we're getting ready to face this week. And but it does make it a little bit easier when we're going up against a quarterback that's more of a pocket passer, kind of similar to last week.
Man, we're talking about all this on the field stuff, and I know you sack the quarterback, you stuff the run, you're an absolute beast out there. But let's talk about off the field. What do you do when you chill? Yeah. How do you just unwind, get away from the game? Take us into your hobbies, like your interest. What do you do when you're not playing ball and you just want to kick back?
Yeah, honestly, I spend a lot of time with my family and friends. My family comes up for the game, so after this past win, I went out to dinner with my family and then came back, played the Call of Duty, played the game for a little bit, and then watched a little college football, and then that was kind of my night. I don't really do too much. I would say I go explore the city with some of my guys. Go find some nice little restaurants to eat at, but definitely not too much, not nothing out of the ordinary or anything like that.
Low key, you're a low key dude. I'm surprised by the Call of Duty. I thought you were going to say you go and you play Boston College franchise mode on the college football game. I didn't see the Call of Duty coming. I'm shocked by that.
It's been cool though playing NCAA, but I haven't been grinding the way a lot of guys I know have been grinding.
You grind the tape with COD instead of NCAA.
That's right.
I like it. You said though, hey, after a big game, you like to go out to eat with your guys. What's your favorite type of food? Is it Italian? You got a lot of good options in Boston. So what's your go-to? Yeah. Big dub, good performance. Yeah. I want to eat right. Eat my favorite food. What do you eat?
Great question.
Yeah. So honestly, we like Strega North End a lot.
Yeah,
we go there pretty often. Cool. We got a nice family over there at Strega, so we eat over there a lot. Love a good Italian food. But then other restaurants. We got the good Mexican spots out here. So yeah, good cool little breakfast spots. I just went out to breakfast earlier today, so it's cool.
I can't have you talk about Strega, which asking, where's your go-to dessert spot after? Is it Modern? Is it Mike's? Is it Bova's?
So I go to Bova's because I
My
like
man.
they're
Smart.
They're 24 hours. So
Yep.
I love a good cannoli from Bova's. So
there you go.
Complain.
You Jersey guys, I swear, man.
We come from good Italian food, so we got
to. I know what good Italian food tastes like for sure. So.
Exactly, and that's real recognized real. If he said it right away, it goes for Italian. My favorite thing, I'm walking down Hanover Street. There's that long line at Mike's. I just go to like a tourist. I'm like, go around the corner, check out Bova's, in and out, no line.
Wow.
Like, really? And I go, just trust me on this.
But I would say I haven't tried Mike's though, so maybe it's a bias. You know, I typically go to Strega kind of later in the evening. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the other bakeries aren't open, but I know that's a 24-hour bakery. So I have
Smart man. Hey, we've talked about on the field. We talked about off the field.
Yep.
I'd love to know, behind the scenes. You mentioned your family. Obviously, the coaches have helped you get to this point in your career. Who behind the scenes, whether it's your family, your friends, what have you, have helped you get to this point in your career as well?
Yeah, well, obviously my faith in God, obviously, but my family as well. A really strong second. 2-parent household with 3 brothers, and we're all very tight knit. We're all very close, and especially my brothers. They're the first ones to tell me, hey, they'll show me clips of my game, and hey, Don, it doesn't look like you're going hard enough on this play or on that play, or you could have did this better. And sometimes sometimes I hear the critiques from coaches, but they're the first ones to really get on me about stuff like that, and I think that makes me go harder. Obviously, it's they obviously know what I want to get out of this game, and they just kind of hold me accountable. So.
Man, I love that. Nothing like accountability from the siblings. We spoke before. Your last name being Ezeiruaku. I know it's Nigerian descent. What does that mean to you whenever you take the field, whenever you make a big play? Someone hears that last name for someone where your dad came from Nigeria and you now being a first-generation American. Yep. What does it mean to you to represent, more than just yourself, more than just your family, but a unique last name, of course, that represents a nation as well?
Yeah, it means a lot. I get a lot of calls and texts from my family, my extended family, and they just let me know how proud they are of me. And we do a lot of things for the name on the front of our jersey. At the same time, we do a lot of things for the name on the back of our jersey. So it really means a lot that when you look up my last name, a picture of myself or a picture of my family or whatever comes up, and it's like all good news. That's so important for me. And I just want to continue to make my family proud, but as well continue to do things for myself as well.
Donovan, no doubt you're accomplishing that, my man.
Absolutely.
On the field, off the field. This conversation that Trav and I are having with you, first time we've met, man.
Yep.
I was a fan of your game, fan of you as a person now. Wishing you the best, man, this week, next week, and moving forward throughout your career, man. He's Donovan.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you too. He's Donovan Ezeiruaku. Donovan, thanks for joining the chat, my man. Best of luck the rest of the way. We're rooting for you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Hey, check out the latest episode of Hockey Hub. That's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. That is the Hockey Hub. Everything you want Bruins, everything you want NHL, right there wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, as well, go to Nesson's YouTube page, hit the subscribe button. You can find new episodes of the Hockey Hub there as well. All right, Trav, I'm excited to talk this with you. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, November 15th. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I want to go through the tail of the tape. Mike Tyson's 58, Jake Paul's 27.
That's you could stop there.
If you fought Mike Tyson, that'd be mean.
It's just
Jake Paul's 27.
The thing that's got me really upset about this, man, because I'm a huge fight fan.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's my favorite fighter of all time. I grew up during that prime Iron Mike era.
Yeah.
But prime Iron Mike did not have a gas tank at all. And he didn't need to. I mean, he was getting guys out of there with the quickness. He was knocking you out. I think, watching him as a kid, it seemed to me the fight was over before you even stepped in the ring with him.
Yeah.
Like the guy in the ring was a menace, but he was so menacing that you were intimidated. His music, he would walk to the ring with no socks and just all black. And like, this dude was a monster. Okay. And then he was knocking your head off within the first few rounds anyways. But as his career got longer, he fought better fighters. Evander Holyfield, the first fight. Lennox, we know what happened. Like, eventually he got exposed as to not being the most technical boxer. You know, he's not the tallest guy in the world, so he's not going to jab you to death. He's just trying to literally decapitate you with power punches. But his gas tank would run out in these big fights against superior fighters. I'm certainly not suggesting that Jake Paul is a superior fighter. What I am suggesting, though, is now at 157 years old, there's not like this gas tank all of a sudden is going to be full, okay? Like, he didn't have one to begin with, and now he's old as hell.
Yeah.
Elder abuse is what we're going to be watching here. I don't want to – I'm going to watch this fight because I'm a sucker for this stuff, George, and I'm an Iron Mike fan. And I just want the sliver of a chance that Jake Paul gets knocked out in this fight. There is a sliver of a chance, but that is it. Just a sliver. Because what's likely going to happen here is this kid Jake Paul's smart enough to not only market these fights and get paid, but he's going to run from Mike Tyson for 2 rounds. That's all you got to do. Just run. Just stay alive. Don't get caught with any of those shots. You'll be fine. Iron Mike will run out of gas, and then you could do whatever you want.
Gas him out.
You could do whatever you want. It's going to be embarrassing.
It's going to be all his wins, I think, have come in the first round. Just like tail of the tape. Mike Tyson, 58. Jake Paul, 27. Jake Paul, 6'1". Mike Tyson, 5'10". Reach, Jake Paul, 76 inches. Mike Tyson, 71 inches.
Jeez.
Professional record, Mike Tyson, 50-6. Yep. Jake Paul, 3-0. It's what he does. He's going to run around, like you said, gas him. A couple body shots. Mike goes down, doesn't get up after a 10 count. Jake Paul gets 40 mil. Mike Tyson gets 30 mil. That's what it is. Jake Paul is going to win it.
Yes, he's going to win it.
Which stinks. And it's. Let me ask you this, because to me too, like, Mike Tyson is such a legend. Mm-hmm. I understand the purse. Good for Mike Tyson to get paid like this. Get something at his age. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Get like life-changing wealth once again.
He looks in shape too, George.
He does.
Like, I'm a sucker for this stuff. So all the hype videos,
well, Tyson
he looks good.
He never hit a bag after he retired because he knew the second I would hit it, I'd say I still got it and I'm sick or I'll start training. And he's like, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. He gets in shape right away. But he's 58 years old.
Man.
And all the beatings that he did take throughout his career, like, he was a boxer. It's not just in the ring; it's the training.
Right.
It's disrespectful to a legend to put him in this situation.
I know.
Mike Tyson's getting paid, and I'm not saying he's doing this, but it's the whole existence of this is disrespectful to the fight game.
Yeah, listen, bro.
And it turns people off from boxing. You want people to get into boxing. They're not going to get into it because they're going to pay if it's pay-per-view, if it's on Netflix, whatever. Sure. They're going to pay to watch this. It's going to be a joke.
Well, unfortunately, this is what boxing is now.
Yeah. It's McGregor, Mayweather.
Yeah, it's come to this. It's sideshow circus freaks here. I mean, listen, Mike Tyson being 58, that's a hard 58 years old too, bro.
Yeah.
We're not talking Tom Brady.
He's lived life.
Yeah, like right. I mean, cocaine, parties, the whole 9. He's lived it all, okay, twice over. So this is a hard 58. Jake Paul, unfortunately, this is what I see. Here's my prediction, ready? I think Jake Paul runs for a couple rounds, as I said. Mike, that's tiring, chasing a guy around the ring. When he does get this kid in a corner, I'm sure he will unload a couple shots at him. If Jake Paul can just survive those, Mike Tyson will punch himself out. He will be tired. And then I think, unfortunately, George, I think we're going to get a meme out of this. I do. I think it is just we're going to get a viral moment
to Mike Tyson
of an old man Mike Tyson getting the hell beat out of him by this kid. And it's just going to be embarrassing. And I hate it. I hate it for the legacy of Mike Tyson. In my head, man, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, the video game. Mike Tyson, the youngest champ ever. I mean, Kid Dynamite, baby. Iron Mike. And now I'm just going to have this terrible memory of old man Mike getting beat by this YouTube loser. I'm telling you, it's going to be a meme. He's going to do something embarrassing to Mike and knock him out. And it's just going to be awful.
Mike Tyson's going to win.
Come on.
It's gonna be the second round. He's gonna be done playing these games, and he's gonna catch him because he hates him. But it's the best thing to happen for both parties because Mike Tyson gets a knockout. He doesn't get embarrassed. He's a legend, and Jake Paul gets a rematch set up.
Okay.
Because he's 3-0 at this point. People are going to start tuning out. You lose? What? Rematch Tyson, Jake Paul. Jake Paul gets him on the second. Mike Tyson also is going to get aggravated and pissed off in there. Like, if a switch will flip in his head and he'll go, F this kid. Pop! And get him.
If you're right, if that happens, this fight is fixed. If that happens. There is no way that this young prime athlete.
He can corner him. He's going to know how to circle the ring, and he'll get him in a spot and just catch him. Then third round, what I go second on?
Fixed.
Mike Tyson's going to knock him out. But it'll get to the point where Jake will have to do something, get body shots in. If he's not answering the phone, Mike Tyson will answer for him with his fist.
I'll tell you this: if Jake Paul's game plan is to come in here and just stand toe to toe with Mike Tyson,
Mike wins.
Then Mike wins.
Yeah.
But
if he dances, gasses him.
Yes, I don't believe that for a second. I don't think. Look. I don't like the kid, but I tell you what, he's a genius. All these fights,
1,000%.
Oh, he's making money. So that suggests to me that in the ring, he's going to be smart. Look, I'm a fight fan. I've watched him fight a few times. I thought Tyron Woodley was washed in UFC, and like, why are you now boxing this kid? Same with Ben Askren. Like, these guys are washed. Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
These guys are old, washed up MMA guys, and now you're gonna box this dude. So he can fight. I'll give him that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
he's athletic.
He's obviously smart.
Yes.
So I just don't see him. If his game plan is I'm gonna stand here and knock Mike out toe to toe, I don't love that game plan.
But it's all fake.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Mike's going in knowing he's going to lose. So on the reverse, exactly. It'll be, I'm going to gas you. Mike will know to take it easy, not throw any punches, and you go, hey, third round, catch me, and we'll get a rematch.
What a terrible fight.
Marketing.
That would be terrible.
It's going to be terrible
if Mike
way.
goes in there to conserve energy, so he's like, I'm not going to chase this kid or throw shots. We're just going to watch two dudes.
What would happen if Jake was running from him and Mike just stood there like, I'm not coming after him? Does the ref keep bringing them together?
Everyone will boo. That's what would happen.
You'd boo Jake because he's running.
Yes, everyone
when Mike's
would boo.
like, let's stand here and exchange shots.
Everyone would boo that.
Okay.
But yeah, the ref can make them fight. It's not going to happen though. The refs getting paid too, bro. Everybody gets paid in this scenario.
8-1 for a draw.
No shot.
It's going to be
elder abuse.
Yeah,
is what it's going to be.
I don't want that to happen,
bro. But again, I will be watching. I say all that. I'm like, oh man, my childhood, and it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna watch. I'm gonna be heartbroken when my guy Mike Tyson is a meme, but I will be watching it, just in the chance that he catches this kid on the chin.
Between Mike the Tiger making an appearance at LSU because the governor of Louisiana wanted him in a stadium, and then this is like animal abuse one day, elder abuse the next.
I know, man. We got to do better as a society, people. We can't watch this old man get beat up. What are we doing? I'm going to watch it, though.
Me too. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. This is Boston has entered the chat. Appreciate you guys making us a part of your day. Again, shout out to our guy Donovan Ezeiruaku.
Yes.
Oh, man, I messed it up. Hold on. Donovan Ezeiruaku.
There it is.
Thank you. Shout out to Donovan Ezeiruaku. That kid is going to be special one day.
Hopefully a Patriot.
He'd be a great edge setter for them, man. They need him. Shout out to him joining the show. Shout out to BC as well for getting Donovan on the show, and best of luck to them against SMU. Shout out to you guys for listening and watching as well. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time.